The gate buzzer didn't ring at midnight. My name did. It came out of the wall speaker in a voice trained to be neutral. This is Black Pine Command. Riley Hale, do not acknowledge. Repeat, do not answer your name after midnight. Rain shivered through the fire tower like someone dragging a coin across tin. I stood in socks on cold planks, the protocol binder open on its nail, a list of rules in red pencil and coffee stains. Rule 1, do not answer your name after midnight. Rule 2, do not step in front of a window with the light behind you. Rule 3, if the forest calls you by a childhood nickname, go to ground and cover your face. Copy, I said to no one, because the wall mic was dead at night. The generator idled a low, wet heartbeat under the floor, the needle breathing at the safe mark. Beyond the glass the forest was a single lung, black pine on black ridge, rain turning trunks into moving shadow. Riley, the wall said in my father's not quite laugh, the one I hadn't heard since the accident. You left your truck lights on. I didn't own a truck this season. I wrapped the red bandana over the window at head height and killed the desk lamp. The tower sank into a dim that felt like going underwater. On the desk, the logbook kept its line, time-stamped 003, open like a mouth waiting for my handwriting. The old ranger had written a note in the margin last spring, when snow still lived under the trees. The thing you feed learns your shape. He'd retired 2 months later, or gone missing, depending which story you trusted. Another voice crackled over the handheld, far cleaner. Kilo 7 to Black Pine, confirm all units code Indigo. Do not answer if addressed by name. We have crossing at mile 19 and last sighting near the north spur. Keep your lights red. Keep your face still. I keyed the handheld and kept my voice flat. Black Pine Tower copies code Indigo. Solo in tower. No traffic online. No campfires across the basin. No lightning. The reply came wrapped around a hiss that made my molars hurt. Say again unit's name for the log. Static hugged the word name until it sounded like a wet rope. I let go of the transmit and pressed my tongue hard against my teeth, a little trick from rookie school to keep your mouth from answering questions your brain hadn't approved yet. Outside, the metal stairs clicked as if a boot couldn't decide which step to choose. The rain eased. The insects woke and started their mild chainsaw prayer. My name floated again, somewhere between the cabinets and my skin. Riley Hale. Come down a minute. The vowel sat wrong, like a chair you don't trust. I slid the protocol card out of the binder sleeve. In someone's block letters, after 012, the call will copy details it shouldn't know. Do not correct it. Do not educate it. Silence is medicine. Movement is food. Something tall moved past the west window and left no shape, only a pressure that smoothed the glass. My mouth filled with the taste of a penny warmed in the hand. Kilo 7, the handheld said, softer. If you must leave the tower, go blind. Cover your eyes in red and count your steps. If it uses your mother's voice, crawl. If it says the dog's name, stop your ears with cotton and sing. Do you copy? I found the red lens headlamp and taped a strip of duct tape over the clear center. The world tilted toward a bloody dim. My breath fogged the bandana on the window, the fog printed a word I didn't like, open. The alarm on the fuel hut tripped 2 short beeps and a long. That wasn't a code I knew. I looked down through the floor grates. The hut sat 30 yards out at the base of the tower, a metal shed with a padlock and a habit of sweating at the wrong times. Lights were out. No motion. The padlock glimmered like a wet tooth. The binder had a page for that too. If the hut sings, pull the breaker from inside the cabinet before the song finishes its second verse. A ranger had circled a drawing of the switch with a shaky pen. Another hand had written after, do not be late to your own rescue. I clocked the time, 0:15. I pulled the hood up, palmed the knife I never used until my hand stopped shaking, and cracked the door. The smell of cedar pitch and cold rock stepped in as if invited. The tower's stairs dropped into wind and dripping dark. The world below had the quiet of things deciding what to be. "Riley," something called from under the steps, precise and glad. "You forgot your glove." It was my glove, left there earlier, wet and black as a shadow becoming useful. I let it be. I counted the stairs with my boot soles, heel to nose, a ritual older than the tower, older than the pines, as if numbers could be prayer if you starved them of nouns. At the landing, I paused and listened to the sound the forest makes when it's listening back. Not wind. Not rain. The feeling of a mouth closed over a straw, drawing the shape of me through the air. The ground took me soft and cold. Needles gave and whispered. The red headlamp drew a tunnel about 2 armspans wide. Outside it, something kept pace just above my shoulder, curious as a deer until it remembered it was not a deer. Halfway to the hut, the radio popped loud enough to jump my grip. "Riley," said my mother's voice, "the part that forgives. Answer me so I can fix it." Something cold touched my collarbone, and the chain link hummed like a live wire. Inside the hut, a mouth fogged the plexi once. It leaves a second oval on the plexi, smaller than the first, as if the mouth is practicing. The alarm finds its tune again, 2 short, 1 long, and under it something hums the same melody the wrong way, inside out, like a song taught to a mirror. "Breaker," I tell my hands. Before the second verse. The padlock is shut, but the shackle isn't seated. It hangs in the hasp like a ring on a finger that never quite fit. I lift it and it clicks grateful, as if I said yes. The door flange is wet and cold and sticks to my skin. I open as far as the chain allows and slide in sideways, eyes low, red beam at my boots. The smell is fuel and old breath and the copper of rain squeezed off a roof and saved in a cup. "Riley," it says softly, from the dark of the cabinets, in my father's didn't mean to startle tone. "Don't be stubborn. Answer so I can tell you how." The panel is 4 screws and a hinge that squeals like a mouse being taught to sing. The second verse stutters, impatient. I feel along for the big switch with the pad that's been thumbed for 30 years. The edges are warm. When I pull, I know it will thank me in a voice I miss. I brace, count my breaths wrong on purpose so my body won't remember its own timing, and throw the breaker. The hut's heart coughs, then stops like a dream that knew it was a dream too late. The long note dies. The rain rearranges itself until it sounds like only rain. "Thank you," the father voice says through the gap in the door, and for a second chemical hurt climbs my throat and I want to say you're welcome to the dark. I go blind instead. Tape over the headlamp for a breath. Press my forearm across my eyes until fireworks bloom. Open to red again. The plexi is clear. The mouth print has slid downhill and left a wet slug trail that spells nothing. I step back into the night that has been waiting with both hands. The tower looks different in the red, more bones than room. The staircase licks itself once with fog. On the second landing, a drop falls from above and finds the notch at my collarbone where skin remembers being 6 and wet from a lake. "Rye," a voice says there, so close the hairs try to get up and leave. The nickname is wrong by a weight only one man ever held. I go to ground, face covered, as if protocol were born in my bones. Something with patience like hunger waits until I stand. It doesn't try the name again. It learns. It learns all the time. Halfway up, the handrail goes warm as a wrist. My boot knocks a lost nut and the nut answers with a knock in the exact rhythm of my kitchen wall when the heater starts. I keep counting. The rain counts with me in the bad math of leaves. The door at the tower top is open a finger width. I didn't leave it like that. The bandana over the window is breath wet, fog scribbling a child's drawing of a tree where there should be a word. The binder has fallen and lies open to a page I don't know. In a square hand I have to admit is mine, after 019, it will try paperwork. Handwriting is a kind of voice. Do not sign your name to anything. The logbook lies where I left it, a pen across the line like a stick across a stream. The time stamp ticks forward in my head. 021, 022. Somewhere below, a deer breaks brush and freezes the night for his one good second. Kilo 7, the handheld murmurs, official, thin. For the log, confirm name. Static scrapes the corners. The request sits polite for a beat and then grows teeth. Say it, Riley. We can help you from here if you say it. The rule makes my mouth dry. The habit makes it worse. There's a canyon inside my face where answering wants to run. Instead I write, 0023, code Indigo, fuel hut alarm, manually pulled breaker, no new heat signatures across basin, no camps visible, no lightning. I do not write my name. My hand wants to sign by itself. The pen flexes against skin. I dig the nib into the paper and lift it without making a shape. The generator wobbles once beneath the floor like a drunk grateful for a bench. The lights burp red, then die, then return to the same low that pretends safe. In the west window, beyond the bandana, the night presses ear to glass. The wall speaker wakes. Black Pine Command, it says like a training tape from 8 chiefs ago. Tower, do not stand in front of a window with the light behind you. There is movement at the stairs. We see you. We see you. The hair on my arms tries to crawl into the sleeves. There is light behind me, small, from the fuel panel indicator rewarming on backup, from the handheld's glow, from the pepper red of the headlamp bleeding through its tape. My shape is a clean cut where the glow ends. The glass likes clean cuts. Wood likes soft ones. I slide sideways along the wall and keep my body between any light and any pain. The tower hums like a throat practicing a higher note. The stairs click. Once. Twice. The thing that learned my kid name decides not to use it yet. The binder flips a page by itself. Under Rule 3, someone has added with a different pen, if the forest knows your father taught you the rules, it knows what you wish you'd asked him. It will offer answers if you pay with a yes. It will take cheaper if you just nod. I nod because I am human and a head weighs something and the neck gives bearings to fear. The pain breathes out, pleased. Don't, I tell the root of my skull, and still everything above my throat tries to float. Outside, the pines step a finger's width closer and hold, as if to give me the illusion of time. The handheld clicks open on its own in my hand. Riley Hale, the dead channel says in the hiss between repeaters, you made a note at 003. For the log, initial. I flick the switch to off. It keeps speaking until off remembers what that means. A knock comes from the floor hatch. 3 sounds in a pattern no one at the station would ever use, floor, hatch, breath. If we had a dog, it would be standing now with fur like math problems along its spine, choosing not to growl because lower noise feels smarter. I drag the desk so its leg pins the hatch. The leg shakes like it resents becoming a hinge. The hatch knocks again, friendlier. Rye, the voice under the hatch says now. Rye, can I tell you the thing I didn't get to tell you when the hood folded and the glass stopped acting like a wall? The breath in my chest becomes a room I'd do anything to go back into. I turn the red lamp down until it's nothing with flavor. I kneel and put my forehead to the floorboards that remember boots older than my feet. The wood is cool. The gap knifes a thin cold into my skin. The voice at the hatch is exactly the one I loved, minus the cigarette rasp, minus the future he never got. Ask it what you would have said, the part of me that knows bad ideas whispers. Ask it about the creek, about the lesson in leaning into wind, about the stupid trick with the knot and the nail he promised to show you when the summer was slower. I know the knot, I say before I can catch the word, and there it is, my mouth opening enough to be a door. Silence afterward is a coin laid on the tongue. The next knock is not on the hatch. It is on the inside of my teeth. Answer for the log, the handheld says in my father's I'm not mad voice. Say your name and I will say mine, and it will be like when you were small and the dark was a game. I cover my mouth with my palm until I can taste salt. In the window, something presses the bandana until the cotton blooms into the shape of a face and a single red eye. Do not stand in front of a window with the light behind you. Rule 2 was not a rule until somebody broke it. The generator hiccups again, and for a blink the light behind me is enough to make a perfect negative of me in the glass. In that black cutout, a white hand fits like memory into a glove. The pane distorts into water, then something thinner, then something that would accept a signature. My pen lies on the page where I left it. The journal line reads time, ____OBS, _____. Under it there are 100 old lines with other hands and other names. My father's loops are on one, proof that he taught the book how to say him. I take the pen and write 028. I write OBS, red eye at west pane, alarm cut, NO wind. The point hangs over the next blank. It wants to turn down, round, close, make the old curve my teachers liked. The pane whispers the way a person hums in agreement. It is a yes in the accent of glass. The hair along my arms understands before my skin does that the window is waiting for my hand, not my mouth. If I sign, I'll have answered. If I don't, the voice under the hatch will keep his lesson wrapped and hungry forever. If I don't, I will be alone with the kind of night that edits your memory until you feed it some version of your life that fits. The hand at the window slowly matches the height of mine. It wears no color. It is all light that remembers where I was standing when I was happy. Riley, the wall says softly in a tone that used to mean rescue in all languages I spoke. I write, R. Then I stop. I press the point through the paper instead and nail the page to the desk. The fiber gives with a sound like a distant fawn. The pen splits. Ink beads in tired black. The red eye at the bandana unblinks, like the camera already knew what I'd try and had my next line ready. It doesn't want ink. It wants a shape. On the desk, the old field map sits under the binder. There is a space on it where the trail goes quiet between creeks and the contour lines thicken like a throat swallowing. Someone's hand has traced a circle there 100 times in pencil. The pencil is greasy with living. I tear the map in half at the circle and put the circle over the window, between me and the hand. The wet light on the other side sucks the paper tight and then shudders, unsatisfied. The hatch speaks in a boy's voice I know without ever hearing, mine, first, high, eager. Say me, it asks. Please. Then I'll be brave. The ceiling pops like a knuckle before a storm. The tower decides whether to hold me or trade for something with a better name. I tie the red bandana around my eyes and back into the wall until the frame quits feeling like it will shift to make room for a larger shape. I take the handheld and press transmit and never open my mouth. This is Black Pine Tower, I think hard, like thinking could push air. Code Indigo. If you hear your name, don't. If they get your nickname right, go to ground. Do not stand in front of a window with the light behind you. If a hand fits your shadow, move. The handheld chuckles, pleased to know a game, and speaks my thoughts to the night in a version of my voice that is stronger for the telling. Out across the basin, a dozen little lights that are not our lights wake where no trail goes. The pines make a room around all of them at once. Under my palm, the hatch knocks for the last time in the rhythm I learned for yes. It is not my father anymore. It is the new thing learning how to be a father to 100 names. The window cools. The red eye goes out. The page under the pen is pierced and pinned and empty of my letters. The book waits, polite. It will wait until I am tired. In the place where quiet lives, a voice I have never heard but will know forever says my name perfect and then takes the last of the midnight to wait for me to agree.